Kosuanity era one radio empenyini say yensoma na motenten yesoma banyasafo era one radio yedin sem anumuaye ebre.
Good evening, Era One radio listeners. Those of you watching us from Facebook and YouTube, we are live this very Tuesday, the 4th day of January 2022. This happens to be my first broadcast on the Divine Connection show. And as you know, when we talk about Divine Connection, we are bringing divinity into humanity. Well, our title for tonight's discussion is New Year, New You, Goals and Visions for 2020. You realize that if you were to board a plane to go to a destination you might not even be aware of, and you join the passengers and just keep going, you might end up in a place that you have no idea. So it's very imperative, very good that before you begin every journey, you know where you are going, you know your starting point and your destination. That is the discussion for tonight. Tonight, we're going to discuss what we have to do even as we begin the new year. And I'm so excited, I'm so blessed to have a very important dear brother, a very learned and smart man by the name of Dr. Charles Manu. In a jiffy, I will be introducing him. But before we do, I want you to know that you are on Era One Radio. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Modern Ghana Radio. If you want to call in, the number to call is 240-280-2633. Or if you want to text us, it's 510-931-0946. Let me remind you where you are, and then we will continue in a minute.
Kosuanity era one radio empenyini say yensoma na motenten yesoma banyasafo era one radio yedin sem anumuaye.
All right, we are back on Era One Radio, and I just told you before we went for the break that I have a very August, not January, August, very important guest tonight. He's not even a guest, he's a part of our team. So I'm just making him play a guest tonight, but it's actually part of our team. He's by name Dr. Charles Manu. So tonight we have the two Charleses. I don't know whether we have plural for Charleses, but you know, when you Ghana, when you talk about Charles, you have something you call Charles Kelly. The two of us were the best Charles Kelly players in Ghana. I mean, we can throw the Milton anywhere, and that was the game we used to play. Well, Dr. Manu is a product of Walden University, just like me in the US. He's married to the beautiful Mrs. Vera Manu. You might have heard her voice before on our Era One Health is Where team. Very good producer, broadcaster, and a presenter. He's a great asset to our team, the Health is Where team, and of course, he is married to Vera Manu. I'm sure he's going to tell us more about himself, the things that I don't know, the kind of high school that he went to. Of course, sometimes we try to brag about the high school he went to. I went to Augustine's, and, you know, I brag about it. A bit of infancy, I brag about it. So he's going to tell us a jiffy, the ones that I didn't see, and then we'll zoom in with our program. Doc, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being here.
You're welcome. All right. Is there anything you want to tell us about your background, a bit about your growing up? Don't go into too much details because I don't want people to know you too much. Just a bit of your high school and, you know, how life has been treating you, or how you are treating life.
Thank you very much, Dr. Boison. I went to Okes. For those who lived in Kumasi and its vicinity, you probably have heard or seen or know where Okes is located. From there, I really wanted to go to University of Science and Technology, but for some reason, I didn't pass math. Interestingly, I registered it again at West African Examination Council. When I went to write the exam, I was told my index number wasn't there.
Oh, Lord.
So that means somebody took my money, did not register me, so I wasn't able to. But, you know, God in his infinite wisdom planned something better for me. I came here at a young age, I went to Indiana University for my undergrad. I obtained a BS in Business Administration and Advertising. I went on to University of New Hampshire to get a master's in public health.
Okay.
And then 3 years later, I went on to Weldon University to obtain a PhD in public health.
Awesome.
With concentration in community health promotion and education. I'm very fortunate to work for the District of Columbia government in the capacity of Department on Disability Administration. I serve as one of the managers there. So I'm privileged for all that God has done for me. This is because of a few people who pushed and encouraged me to obtain higher education. So I owe everything to some of these people that I'm not able to mention here online.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Dr. Min. That was great. I'm sure if you came to US, our paths could have crossed. But God, knowing what he wanted to do, he diverted you, and see where you are. It's a blessing.
Amen.
So we thank God for such a testimony. All right. So tonight we are broadcasting, like I said, on Era One Radio. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. Call somebody to call somebody to call someone. That's the popular phrase that we use. Let somebody know that we are live. Come and listen to this important discussion. I mean, you can't even pay money for this discussion. And this man is a highly sought after man. So for me to have him today, it's a blessing. I'm glad I even had just a last minute, a prompt, and he was able to make it. So Dr. Charles, thank you very much for making it tonight. And I'm also grateful to Vera for, releasing you, because I know he's waiting for you guys to have dinner. All right. So we are going to zoom into our study. And there's this popular phrase we all know, that doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, they say, or Einstein said, is madness or craziness. So you have to alter your stuff or your strategies. If you did something last year and it didn't work, I mean, you are not obliged to do the same thing. Alter your steps, change it, see if you can do something new that will bring you a better result. So just sit down, maybe at the end of 31st, you sat down and did your goals or your vision or whatever it is. Nobody knows. But then tonight, I want Dr. Manu to help us, make a strategic, goals, whatever vision you have, we're going to go into it. Okay, so we're talking about new year and a new you. And even Bible tells us that you don't buy a new wine and put it in old wine skin. It's going to crack. So you have to come out with new ideas to make you have a better lifestyle. Reevaluate your life for 2021 and see whether you made any strides. If you failed in some areas, move aside. I mean, the proverbial crab, when he's moving and he meets an obstacle, he doesn't keep going forward. He just twist or make a different turn and keeps going. All right. So we're going to talk about vision and goals. And vision, of course, is something like an image of something you want to have in the future. It doesn't mean you should just go and sleep and begin to have visions or prophetic. Vision is just having an image in front of you for your future, what you want to do. And the goals are the steps that will lead you to these broad vision. Because you might have a very big vision and say, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds by the end of the year. How are you going to do that? Are you going to sit on your couch and eat potato chips all day? Or are you going to move to the gym or walk and do something? Those are the goals. So Dr. Main is going to explain in details to us. So Doc, let me ask this first question. Is it even a good practice to have a vision or goals for every year? Tell us about the importance of that.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Boison. I had a very interesting experience when I went to Ghana to collect data for my dissertation.
Okay.
Part of the questionnaire required members or participants to tell me their annual income. And the region or the county that I chose, it was more or less people working for themselves.
Okay.
And so I started asking about what is your gender, which was obvious, your annual income. And everybody looked at me like, what are you talking about? What I do is I do buy and sell, and I use the same amount of capital to feed my family.
Wow.
About 80% of the participants did not have a clue as to how much their annual income is, let alone their profit margin of the items that they were selling. And it taught me a very good lesson that Ghanaians, among a lot of ethnic populations, don't document. And there is a proverb that says, a goal without a plan is only a wish. Okay?
Wow.
So you can wish for a whole lot of things, but to set a goal, you need a plan.
Awesome.
Okay? Where we come from, we don't document anything. I remember of a friend that I went to high school with who was obsessed with a girl. And we were pushing her, go get her, go talk to her. And he will just come back to the dorm, peep through the window, and be fascinated with this girl. When you ask him, do you have a girlfriend? Say, yes, sister so-and-so. But never talk to sister so-and-so.
He had too much POP, huh? He had
Absolutely.
too much POP.
Absolutely. And so what I'm trying to say is, in order for anyone to even achieve something in life, there has to be a plan. Okay? It doesn't have to be any exuberant plan, but it has to be a documented plan. If you want to put up a building, you just don't go and dig the ground and lay your foundation. The first thing that you need is a plan. How the building will look like after it's finished. Okay? You can envisage the finished product. But if you don't have a plan as to how to get there, you're going to be lost in the midst of it. Okay? So that is the first thing that I need to put out there. If you really want to be successful in life, you ought to have a plan. I don't care how the plan looks like, there has to be a plan.
Awesome. There has to be a plan. No matter how big or small it is, there's always a need to have a plan. So like I said earlier on, you can't be trying to go to New Jersey or Kumasi and not have a plan as to how you're going to get it. It's very important. And Dr. Manu has expertly explained that to us. Doc, somebody may say that they've been making goals or they have a vision. They set up this goal, but they could not attain it. What are some of the factors that could limit the achievement of a goal?
Okay. So first of all, let's distinguish between a goal and a vision.
Sure.
Okay. A goal is what? A goal is how, a vision is what?
Okay.
What is your vision? And how do you get from your goal to your vision?
Sure.
Okay. So the first thing that I will say is set achievable goals. Okay. If you don't set achievable goals, you're not going to be able to attain them. Now, granted that everything being equal, your goals may be within where you can achieve it. However, there are so many things that can go wrong. And so when you set goals, please allow room for disappointment. Okay? You can get sick. That means you cannot work. That means the building that you put up in Ghana that you've been sending $100 a month, you will not be able to do that. So you got to allow room for improvement and disappointment. Okay, which means that there are some months that you can send 200 instead of 100.
That's true.
And there are some months that you would not be able to send anything. Okay, so please, 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 when you set goals and for some reasons you are not able to get to your goals, you don't quit.
That's true.
Okay, just like I really, really wanted to go to UST and I wasn't able to get all the requirements to go, I never gave up.
That's true.
When I came here, a lot of people said, hey, you're going to go to school with white people. You don't even understand their accent. You are a black person. You have this deficiencies. But I had goals. Okay. And you have to have people who push you to reach your goals.
Awesome. You never gave up. You were so resilient. You never let anybody deter you. That is where why you are where you are. I mean, I don't know whether if you went to UST, we don't know whether you'd be a doctor by now. We don't know. God works in mysterious ways. We are blessed that you were able to make it. God gave you a detour and you made it. Last year, you gave a solo presentation on Era 1. I think in a similar vein or different, but then I took your advice in goal setting. That is why I say, you know what, he did a solo discussion, but I want to have a discussion with him because we couldn't ask all the questions that we wanted. That's why, or what prompted me for tonight's show. All right, Doc, let's look at this verse or quotation in for those of you who are Christians and believe in the Bible. In the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2 to 4, and let me read a portion of it. It says, "And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon table, that he may run that readeth it. 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak and not lie. Though it will tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." All right. So is this verse similar to the vision that we have in life? And if so, does writing your vision plainly on a paper or something, does it matter? Because some people will say, oh, I like to keep my vision in my head. I know what I want to do for the year. Is it appropriate? Is it better to actually tabulate it, put it on a paper, document it, or, you know, where you can see, you can pass by, pray over it? Is there any rationale behind that, Doc?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
And I'm glad that the prophet Habakkuk says God revealed the vision to him and he asked him to write it down.
Okay.
Where I work, I have staff that I manage. There's no way I will be able to evaluate them at the end of the period, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year, if there is no documented performance standards. Okay? If you don't set some standards for yourself, it's very difficult to evaluate. A plan that is in your mind that you can forget, and when you die with it, with which nobody will see the blueprint. It's important, it's imperative, it's quintessential to write your goal down.
Bravo.
Okay? It's imperative because we're going to leave a legacy. Meaning that when you are no longer here, somebody has to pick the plan that you started. Okay, it applies to all sectors of employment, governmental, and everything there is to life. Okay, so for example, if I set some goals and performance standards for my staff and I retire tomorrow, or I resign tomorrow, somebody can pick up what I set up and continue from there, so we can manage the staff that are going to implement what I've set up for them. The same applies to your home. It's very interesting that the people that we met in this country, they document a lot. A very good example, we have a lot of medicine men in Ghana. We call them herbalists. They can just go to the bush and come up with some leaves, and if you fall sick today, they can just
wrap some medicine.
They can just leaves. Rub it together and squeeze some liquid out of it and say, here, take, drink. And the poison will be out of your system by the morning. When they pass away, guess what? Nobody knows the kind of leaves from the bush that they've been plucking.
That's true.
Okay? Whereas here, before they make something like Tylenol, everything is documented including true. Ingredients and the process that they make the tablet. Okay? I think where we come from, we have something called black mind, meaning that I want to hold everything here, and when I die, I die with it.
Too bad.
Okay? So for our listeners, I want to encourage you to purchase a journal. Okay? If you purchase a journal and you take at least 10 minutes every day to write how I'm going to get to my destination, you will be able to evaluate it. A very good example. we all planned to come to the US. We passed through various terminals.
That's true.
Which I'm not going to mention. Some of us came by land, others came by sea, others came by air, others, I don't know. Okay.
And the funny thing is, one guy was caught hiding in the engine of an airplane so he can come to overseas.
There you go. But they said by hook or crook,
they have to make it.
I got to be on the US flight to either JFK or wherever I want to go. Okay. But the last thing we do is to have an exit plan. Okay. How long should I stay in the US? How much money should I make so that when I return, I have a substantial amount? Okay. Should I build here or should I build in Ghana? There's a lot of decisions that if you don't write them down, you will not be able to process them. Okay. So for me, I have learned to journal.
That's true.
Okay. I'll tell you a good example. When I finished my undergrad, I was settled. I told myself I'm done with school. Okay. Because I consider myself not being too smart to go on to grad school. But my wife said, Charles, you will go because I'm going.
Thanks to Vera. Okay?
And then she pushed me and pushed and pushed. Before I knew, she had registered me at graduate program. Okay. I got a call for an interview and I asked them, what is this for? They said, oh, you applied to go to University of New Hampshire. And I had to do a 360
to find out.
Jump. And I said, okay, I'm available so and so date. So I came back home and I said, how did UNH call me for an interview? He said, oh, I registered you. I fill all the forms, sign your signature and send it.
Really?
Okay. So sometimes I say there are dreamers and there are implementers. Besides these two people, we got people called pushers. They are not dreamers, they are not implementers, but they will push you into your purpose.
Wow.
God made all of us with a plan and a purpose.
Awesome.
None of us is an accident. Even if your parents never planned to have you, you are not an accident because God needed their DNA to bring you to this planet Earth.
Wow.
God thought about you before your ultrasound. Okay, before your parents decided to bring you on this earth, the thought of you entered God's mind. I think it predates Adam. Okay, so the only thing that will be disappointing for God is not to fulfill the purpose and the plan of which he created you for. Okay? Because it will be an insult and to the intelligence of God.
That's true.
To see that you wasted your plan and your purpose here on this earth.
Wow, that is
an insult to the intelligence of God. Okay? Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 says, before I formed you, I knew you. So God knows that he has endowed all of us with potentials. Okay? English is not our language, yet we studied with the white men and white women. They got A's, we got B's. Sometimes we got A's and they get C's.
That's true.
So that tells me God has given us potentials. When you go to Ghana, for example, and go to Abosiokai, these people who are mechanics there, we call them fitafor. Some of them have never been to school, but just drop your car there and say, Oga, my car cannot start. They don't use any computers. All they do is open the hood. Ghana, we call it bonnet. Okay? So they pop the hood up, and this guy will smell the engine and tell you it's your carburetor.
Wow.
Okay? So that tells me we all have been endowed with potentials.
Resources.
Nobody is a stupid person.
That is true.
Nobody is an imbecile. Nobody is useless on this planet Earth. If you will apply yourself and ask God to give you visions of who He wants you to be, the rest, you will admire the miracles that God will use you for.
Awesome. Dr. Manu has been spinning it out tonight. Beloved, you are on Era One Radio on Modern Ghana. You are live on YouTube and Facebook. And in the hot seat in the studio is Dr. Charles Manu, my namesake. And tonight we are discussing New Year and New You, goals and vision. And my niece Comfort just joined us from all the way from UK. Comfort, you are not late. You are still in good hands. And of course, you can always go back and listen to the beginning. So Dr. Manu has been telling us about, goals and what we need to do. And there is a group of people, personalities in Ghana, who have come up with a very good vision. I'm sure they follow some steps, some goals that Dr. Manu just described. And they built up a very nice hospital. So in case you are in Ghana now vacationing and you need a very good place to be treated, I would recommend this place. Maybe you're wondering where it is. So let me just tell you where this facility hospitals. And when we come back, we will now go into specifics. I will let Dr. Manu take us through how to set up goals for your spiritual life, your financial life, all that, all within the 32 minutes that is left. Stay tight. Don't move or don't change.
Hello, beautiful people of Ghana. This is Banahine Specialist Hospital. We are so excited to announce to our people Ghana that we are finally opened and we are accepting patients. At Banahine Specialist Hospital, our extraordinary physicians and nurses are here to provide a high-quality medical service to our extraordinary patients. Our services include primary care services, maternal, neonatal, and pediatric services. We also have an in-house pharmacy. We have X-ray and laboratory services available to you. Come to us for all your healthcare needs, and you will be happy you did, because we believe that health is wealth. Thank you, and stay blessed.
All right, we are back on Era One Radio, and I just played this clip to let you know that somebody came up with a vision. The vision was to build a facility that where people can go to for help. And of course, when he had that vision, maybe he gathered himself, a group of people who will help him to achieve that vision. He had a set of goals. Among the goals was to obtain a land, because Ghana, they don't give a land for free. He obtained a land, he made sure it was developed. He got all the equipment, we call it accoutrements. He got all the accoutrements to set up this big business and health facility. So what we're talking tonight, we're talking about visions. But the vision, before you get your vision, you must go through some goals. That is why we are here tonight. So it's here for in media can't see a feel butaya upesa udisi and so. Then our person says I finish we are 31st December. Let's say a call night. Then our person can oh yeah sure. Or I finish then when I'm this man so na I finish be you me to me aye. So when you buta be this now pay pioneer steps I'll be to me follow at the end of the year, no way to me achieve. Into Dr. Manu or boy me as a discussion. Doc, let me come. Is it important to set up spiritual goals for those who are believers, Christians? Is it necessary to set up a spiritual goals, and then later we'll move into financial goals?
This is more than essential.
Okay.
When you read the book of James, chapter 1, it talks about you asking God for wisdom. Okay. Wisdom is very imperative. Not wisdom to be a judge or wisdom to study science or economics, but wisdom to understand God's word. Okay. So spiritual goals are probably the catalyst that will help you to achieve the rest of your goals. For me, what I do is every year I try to read the Bible through. I set this goal for me because when I get up, before I get up and out of my bedroom, I make sure I read the word of God. Okay. The second thing that I do is I pray and I journal because I have to list the people that I need to pray for and the items that I need to pray on. If you don't write your prayer items, trust me, sometimes you will not even pray because you don't have anything to pray about. Okay? We have a prayer closet in our house. That is where I go to recharge my batteries. Okay? It's independent of my family, my wife and I. That's me and God. So I would challenge you to set your prayer items by writing them down. Sometimes when you go to church or when you go out, you meet friends and he says, "Oh, Dr. Charles, please pray for me." Oh, I'll pray for you. But how many of us really remember to pray for that brother or sister? So when you come home, take your prayer journal, document the prayer list that other people have solicited from you, and please do pray for them. If you organize your prayer life like that, there will always be something to pray about and to pray for. Okay? How many of us have fallen asleep on our knees praying to the Almighty God? Okay? Imagine going to work and your director, your boss, comes to find you asleep at work. You guess what will happen? You will be fired, right?
Yeah.
Or you will be suspended. But you have an appointment with the divine creator, maker of this heaven and earth, the sea and everything therein. And yet you fall asleep in his presence. But it happens all the time. Two things that come to mind will be: one, we are aimless, or two, we are too tired to have that appointment with God. And so it's better to start your prayer life when your mind is fresh. Before you get out of bed, please spend time. Start small, okay? Don't say, "I'm going to pray for 1 hour," because you may not be able to.
Do it, yeah.
Okay? Even if you are able to pray for 5 minutes in the morning, I think it will be appreciated.
That's true.
Okay? But if you have a list, you can pray longer. Okay, so that is number one about prayer and Bible studies.
Okay.
Pick up a chapter. Okay, not anything controversial. If you don't understand something, don't rush and say, leave it. Okay, stop. Ask God for wisdom. James 1 chapter verse 5 says, if anybody lacks wisdom,
Let him
the
ask.
person should ask God. And God, in his infinite wisdom, will explain it to you. Okay? If you don't get the explanation today, don't give up. Keep knocking.
That's true.
Keep asking. And God will give you the insight to understand his word.
Amen. Amen. Awesome. That is very good, though. Thank you very much. He mentioned making a plan, even your spiritual life. And I think some of us, what we do is we rally the family around you. Let each of them write their vision or their goals. And that should be a prayer point for the year. If you are praying, you pick the list and you pray. And at the end of the year, you evaluate and see whether you were able to achieve it. And like he said earlier on, don't make goals that are too unattainable. If you want to, let's say you don't even have a job now, but you say, oh, by the end of the year, I want to be a millionaire. That is good by faith. That is good. But you are now starting to get a job to start saving. So don't make huge, goals that will strain you and you can't achieve and you go stressing yourself out. So start small. If your faith increases for you to say, oh, I don't have a job now, but I want to be a millionaire by the end of the year, that is fine. Hey, God doesn't frown on faith or making big decisions. Make it, but then let them be tangible. All right, Doc, let's go into something financial. Some people have been in the habit that, they don't plan financially. And at the end of the year, they don't even know where their money went to. And they say, oh, before now, meanwhile, you didn't plan. You were buying maybe a shoe for $60 when you were making so and so. And so your financial planning does not even amount to what you are making. And so some would think, oh, are they the evil spirit that are stealing my money or what? How do we even plan financial? So I want you to, recommend or maybe advise us on how people can plan financial, the goals they need to set to be able to, at the end of the year, have something tangible and not blame it on the riches that came to steal their money.
Okay, thank you. I'm very devoted for financial planning.
Okay.
Okay. I have attended some seminars that have really helped me and my family a lot. And one thing that is missing from a lot of Guinean homes is something called budget.
Budget, okay.
Okay. You cannot just live like that without a budget. Every financial planner will tell you without a budget, you will not be able to account for your income and expenditure. It doesn't call for a rocket scientist to teach you how to budget.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is a piece of paper or a computer and tabulate your income versus your expenditure.
That's true.
If you do that, start tonight. Okay, if you are single, you know how much you make. If you are a couple, ask your dear one how much they make, because sometimes they have a check and then they have a checkers.
Hey, wow.
Checkers is what their side job puts into their pocket.
Oh, okay.
They don't add it to the family budget. Okay, and so if you are married, you need to put your income together. That's a topic by itself.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if both of you make 100,000, you put that 100,000 on the left side. Now list all your expenditure. Okay. One thing you should not forget to list is pay yourself. Okay. You making the money. If somebody were to call you from Ghana tonight, you will not sleep until you send the money to them.
That's true.
You got to pay yourself. Okay. So for example, my wife, she wants to go to get a pedicure, a manicure, do her hair, do her eyelashes and eyelids. She doesn't ask me because part of the budget is she has a spending money allocated within the budget.
Awesome.
Okay. And I take mine because I'm very frugal. I will not spend my money. I will buy things that I know they are going on sale.
Wow.
So I can get a deal. When I go to the store, I bargain. You will not believe it. I bargain and I get the deal. And therefore, my wife doesn't go out with me because she hates it. Okay. I will look at the suit and I say, sir, I really like the suit. If you can just give me 10% off.
This discount.
I will not say discount. If you can just give me 10%. Oh, I don't think so. I said, well, go ask your manager. And then they will come back and say, you can have it.
The guy is persistent. Yep.
Okay. So if you go to a furniture store and they're doing a sale, make sure you buy with cash. Okay. Just go to the bank. This dining room set and a chair costs $1,500 as an example. Go there with $100 bills, $1,300. Say, sir, I need to speak with the manager.
That's a good strategy.
I see you are advertising this furniture for $1,500. I dig into my pocket. I have this cash. How much? So you take it. It's counting. $1,300. Well, it's listed for $1,500. I said, okay, sir. Then I'm going to Ashley Furniture.
Yeah, next door.
And they were like, okay, yeah. If you can give us $1,400, we'll give it to you. So I only have 13.
And it's cash too.
And it's cash. Okay. 90% of people will rather take your business than to let you go and give it to somebody else. So again, don't throw money away. Okay. If you don't budget, you will not be able to save. Okay. Statistically, 40% of Americans save consistently.
40%.
40%.
Wow.
60% have up to $5,000 in the bank. Okay. And so the statistics are very scary. All of us, we have money, but it's tied up somewhere. Okay? So liquid cash is what I'm talking about. If you want to start the year strong, I will recommend that you open a savings account where you will intentionally save. I'm emphasizing and underscoring the word intentionally.
Intentionally, purposefully.
If you don't intend to save, you will never save. And the savings are there for emergency use only. Okay, not that I'm going on vacation and I dig my savings and I spend all my life savings on vacation. It doesn't make sense.
So, Doc, if I understand you very well, what you're saying is most people who can't even maybe brag of savings or something at the end of the year, it's not just because somebody or some spirit is siphoning the money, just because they don't plan very well, like you said, pay themselves and make sure you have something consistently going on. That is, I mean, is that my understanding?
Your understanding is correct, because I don't think any spirit will be able to snatch your money from your hand.
Hey,
it does not exist.
Ghana for it's kind of
well, if you allow them, yes. If you believe it, absolutely. But the last thing I check, the people that I work with in Washington, D.C., they have not seen any spirit around them. Neither have I seen any spirit around me. Okay? If you have parents, please take care of them.
That's true.
Okay? If you don't take care of them and something happens, then you're going to say, oh, I wish I had done that. Okay? That's a different topic by itself. But for financial planning, two things that I will emphasize is budget and savings. Okay? If you don't budget, you will not even know how much you have left. And if you don't budget, you're going to spend your money, quote unquote, anyhow. I've seen someone who went to the store and there was a sale. The person wears size 8 shoes, but the sale was for size 10 shoes. And Lord. He bought it.
So he can grow into it?
No, because the thing was on sale. It was cheap. But he bought it. What is the sense? What does it mean? Because there was no plan. For the ladies who go on grocery shopping, you have to have a list.
No impulse buying.
If you don't have a list, trust me, if you take your debit card to the store, you will buy things that you've never planned to buy.
That is true. That is true.
Go to Costco, go to Walmart, go to any big store. You will see something that you want that may not be on your list. Want is different from the things that you've listed to purchase. And if you start the year like that, there could be sales around you. You can close your eyes and walk away. Okay? So, Dr. Boison, you've got me started, because financial planning is
it's a broad thing.
It's my forte, it's my cup of tea. I love teaching it.
Maybe I'll get you back for us to go on that later on as your schedule allows. So, we'll have to go deeper, because like you said, it's a very broad topic. Yeah, very, very broad. And thank you very much for all the, explanation. And you are teaching us tonight. Let me take a quick break, get some water to drink, and then we'll continue. We have about 15 minutes left, and we will make good use of every minute we have.
Suanity era one radio. Empenyini say, Yensuma na motenten, yesuma benyasafo, era one radio. Yedin sem anumwaye ebre.
All right, you are listening to Era One Radio on Modern Ghana Radio, Facebook, and YouTube Live. And I have Dr. Charles Manu on the other side of the studio, giving us very insightful, very Apo. Ghana, we call it Apo Concron. Those of you who did O-level and A-level, we know what Apo means. If you get Apo, which means you are shooting for a very good grade. All right, Doc, you've been telling us about, the financial aspect, which I believe we have to come back someday as your schedule allows for us to go deeper into that. You've been married for quite a number of years. I can see by the gray hair in your beard that, it's been a mileage. Would you please advise us when it comes to family, relationship, spouse, or children? Can you give us maybe a couple of pointers, goals we can set to have a very strong, family life for this 2022?
Okay. By the way, are you going to allow for questions, or are we going straight?
Well, we're going straight. Yeah, I mean, if I get a few questions from the studio, we'll do it. So far, Comfort has been, giving us some comments, giving emojis and applauding you for all you are saying, having a lot of smiles from the studio. So we are good now. Yeah.
Okay. So two things that I will say about family, how to strengthen your families. Okay. First thing is you have to have family devotion.
Okay.
Family devotion means that the family, husband, wife, children, if your schedules will allow, please have a devotion together. Because there is a saying that families that pray together stay together. Okay? That's number one. The second part is communication.
Okay.
Now, there are so many forms of communication. And the most important one is learning to communicate effectively. Okay? That effectively is underscored and emphasized. You can be on your phone and then still be conversating with someone. Okay? Your children are around you, everybody is on their phone, and say, oh, we are all here. I don't think you are here, but you are not present. Okay? Communication has to be quality.
That's true.
Ask open-ended questions, and that is how you get to know people. Don't just say, how are you? How was your day? You got to take it a step further. And that is why a lot of children don't have any relationship with their parents. Because parents ask simple, close-ended questions. Okay? You can use anything to ask a follow-up question. A very good example. If your child returns from school, don't just say, how was school? Because the obvious answer will be fine.
Okay.
Okay. And then they go to their room. Okay. First thing you have to establish is that room is not yours. You are only occupying it. So I need you to bring your body to where all of us are. If you are not working on anything private, that room is not yours. If you institute some measures like that, by not putting a TV in your child's room, because that grants the person access to go to their room. Okay? That is my family rule. It may be different for your family, but to establish the length and the lines of communication, it has to be effective. One, be an active listener. When your wife is speaking with you, don't finish their sentence as if you knows the answer where the person is going to land. Respect your wife, Ghanaian men, and all my listeners. Respect your wife. Don't shout at them. Don't treat them like second class. They are our queens. Okay? You will lose everything in your life if you mistreat your wife. It can shift, but it's not as much. Okay? A lot of women don't also respect their spouses. But if the man learns to respect and treat their wives like they are their queens, the trajectory will change. Okay? Call them by their favorite names.
Not Kweku Papa.
No. Also, learn to help them at home with the chores. I know some men who have never washed dishes. Okay? They leave all the cooking and the cleaning to their wife, the laundries and the ironing to their wife, the taking care of the children to their wife. And then at the end of the day, when the woman is tired and they are sleeping facing east, you want them to face west.
Tunisia.
Hold on, let me plug my laptop right quick.
We are going to Tunisia. Well, viewers or listeners, we are listening to Dr. Manu live on Facebook and YouTube. We're discussing New Year, New You. You are not going to buy new wine and put it in old wines. We all got to change. We are all trying to change. And tonight, we are getting all the strategies to make us a new person with a new strategy so that at the end of 2022, we can be able to say that it was a good year. Doc, continue, please. We have, I think,
and so
3
for the
minutes
new
more.
year 2022, resolve to live peacefully.
Okay.
Peacefully. If you used to fight with your spouse once a month, I think we should put an X and say, I will love you no matter what.
But Doc, jokingly, some of the women today like the fight. They say it makes them romantic. Is that true?
I've never experienced that. It exists, but I've never experienced that.
Okay.
But,
you are special.
Let me give you an example. If I give you lemon and I give you ice cream, which one would you choose?
Of course, with a sweet tooth, I'll go for the ice cream. But the lemon will make me lemonade, huh?
and so yes, somebody will say, I will always like lemon. But you got to spice it. If you spice it a little bit, you can make a lemonade out of it.
That's true.
Some of our homes are not inviting because there is always tension, and the biggest of all the fights is about money. Okay? So we need to resolve all of these differences. Sit down with your spouse, figure out where the confusion starts, and see if you can put some resolutions on them, some solutions. You decide what will work for your family, okay? Because at the end of the day, we are one in Christ. If you and your spouse are not one in Christ, then the devil will add a third person into the relationship. Either he will subtract, or he will add. So for families, my advice is, please, let's communicate about issues. Don't fold up and say, I'm not talking to him. I don't see how you can live with your spouse and not talk to them for a week or two, sleeping in different rooms. It defeats the purpose of marriage. And so at the end of the day, if there were anything that did not go on the way you planned, don't fold up. Don't be overly mad to the extent that you guys cannot pray together, to the extent that you will resolve your differences. Of course, there will be challenges in every relationship, but you gotta be the person to be the bridge. If your spouse will not, you got to commit to being the bridge. Okay? Otherwise, the devil will fill it with a lot of things. Oh, you did this 10 years ago. You did this 5 years ago. You said this, you said that. If we try to be historical, our relationship will not go anywhere.
Awesome.
Paul said, the past is behind me. I have the future. Let's grab onto it.
That's true.
If you did not achieve your goal last year, it doesn't mean all is lost. If you weren't able to save last year, it doesn't mean all is lost.
That's true.
If you are not intentional, you will not be able to achieve your potential because there are so many things drawing your attention left and right. Education versus work. Okay? There will be other things that will be vying for your attention. But the truth of the matter is, do not lose focus. Okay? If you lose focus, you lose your vision. So stay true to your focus and live up to your vision. And you will see the potential God placed in you flourish.
Amen. Thank you very much, Dr. Charles Manu. You'll be hearing more of Dr. Charles in a few weeks when we mount our Health is Worth Protected. He is an awesome part of our quartet. So you'll be hearing more from him. And his wife, Vera, also is part of the Health is Worth team. And tonight we've been talking about New Year, New You. And I know there were so many other areas we couldn't touch. We wanted to go to work ethics and punctuality. What are the goals you can set into that area? What are some bad habits you can abort in this year for you to be able to go higher and, establish better habits? I mean, time wouldn't let us go to, but I believe as his schedule permits, I will get him again in the studio and we'll go into that. I'm sure he's promised that he will come back and we'll do the financial aspect. Era One is a 24/7 program broadcast. We are broadcasting every second, every minute of the day. Thanks to CEO Dr. Samuel Osetu, also known as Ostus, and the team, Era One team. Thank you for making this possible. And those of you who don't have the app, please go to Google Store or Play Store, download the app, and you will catch us live every minute. You don't have to just go to Facebook. If you have the app, we run all the programs and it's there. Go there and pull all the previous broadcasts that we've done. I mean, if you go back to a year, you can pull some of Dr. Charles Manu's broadcasts and enjoy the how to establish goals for your vision. You don't set a big vision or goals that you cannot attain. As he rightly said, you have to start with baby steps, and God willing, God helping you, starting with God as your, the prime emphasis, and having your devotion and following your method, you will make it. So at the end of the year, the money that you work for is not going to be siphoned from your pocket. In Ghana, they say, oh, I see that and Toko that would not happen. That will not be your portion. As you pray and as you work hard, please don't just pray and just sit there and put your hand expecting manna to come from heaven. No, you have to pray, have a goal, strategy, and at the end of the year, it's going to come. Dr. Manu, thank you very much. Do you have a closing remark in a minute? We have 1 minute more. Do you have any closing remark? And then we'll leave. But thank you so much for availing yourself tonight, and thank you very much.
Sure, you're welcome. The only, the only thing that I will emphasize is tonight, before you retire to bed, take a notebook or go on your computer and type up your goals. Okay. That is a great starting point. If it's not written, they say in healthcare that if it's not documented, it's
wasn't done. That's true. Okay, that's true.
So don't keep all your goals in your big coconut head, because a time will come that some of your cells will start dying, and they will die with your goals. What I'm asking is not too much. A year from now, you can pick up your notebook or go on your computer and see if you will be able to access and evaluate whether what you wrote down have been accomplished.
That's true.
Okay? That is my word of advice to all of us. And may God continue to bless us until we meet again.
Thank you very much, Dr. Charles. My regards to Sister Vera and our listeners. Thanks to Comfort for joining us all the way from UK. Viewers, go back to YouTube, Facebook. The clip will be still there. Go and play it again, because you need these strategies to make your year count. Some of the prophets are telling us somebody is going to die. That's not what we are talking about. We are talking about tangible things that will make our life count, and not people coming to tell us somebody will die. Comfort, thank you, and all our viewers, thank you for joining us. I will leave you with this song, and Dr. Manu, we can sign out, and I'll see you again, definitely. All right, have a good night and enjoy your bye-bye.
Hallelujah. Amen. Cristo Mumba. Cristo Mumba. Cristo Mumba.
Obatampa. Wamina mi tutumara monsinia ekron. Aweja eja tummi sene wadoyetino mi pasana dani signboard da me chura manfu okwai na so betu mi pofre muwa minya kwa ma me kira enti dum mi tene wadoyetino dum mi na mi hulu mi na kai papa dum mi na mi nyenyansa.